Alright friends, and welcome to part 2 of the series to create an Instagram clone in FlutterFlow and Supabase. So in the previous video we did the registration pages over here, and for this video we'll be creating the UI for our homepage over here. So let's go into our FlutterFlow project and we'll go to our widget tree, and we'll first start with a blank sheet. So we'll just delete this column and we'll delete this app bar. So now we have a blank app over here, blank screen. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to sort of recreate this top app bar over here with the Instagram logo as well as these two icons. So that should be simple enough. So with the homepage selected, we'll try to add a new widget and we want to add a column. So once we have added the column, we actually want to add this top app bar over here so we can add a row inside the column. So we'll search for the row widget and we'll add the row over here. Now we want to add a text widget. This will be our MeGram logo. And after the text widget, we also want to add two icons. So you can search for icon over here, and we can actually just duplicate this icon. But as you can see in the design, we also want to add some padding to the side of the screen. So what we can do, we can select the row over here, and we can actually just add some padding right here. So we can add left padding of 16 and right padding of 16 as well. We also want to push these two icons right all the way to the right. So how we can do that is we can select this text widget, and under this expansion property we can select this icon to fully expand, and so that the text takes up all the space and pushes these two icons all the way to the right. Let's also change the style of our text. So in the theme text style property, we can actually select, let's say, headline large. Maybe that's a bit too big, headline small. And we can also change our font family to the one that we used previously, which I believe was... Actually, let me just go and check the one that we used here. So this was Playfair Display. So we can change this to Playfair Display as well. So on the font family, we'll just search for Playfair and we'll choose Playfair Display. Cool. And now we want to change these icons, so we can click on the first icon, and under the icon property, we'll just change it, and we can change it to like. So it'll just be a heart over here. I think I like this more rounded heart. And instead of this arrow icon, we want to change it to some message icon. So we can also try looking for some icons in Font Awesome, which is another icon package. And I believe this icon is the messenger icon. So it's this icon right here. Now if you don't like these filled icons, obviously you can change it. And you can also change the font size of these icons right here. So because right now you can see that the icons don't really look the best, they look a bit of a different size. And that's because we used two different icons from two different packages. So usually it'd be best to actually use the icons from the same package. So we'll go to Font Awesome and we'll search for like, or we'll search for heart. You can click on this, and now you can see they're roughly about the same size. Let me change this to a filled icon so that we have consistency in our app design. One more thing that we want to do is we want to add some spacing between these two icons. So we can click on this heart icon. We can add some right padding of, let's say, 16, or maybe that's too much. We'll add padding of 8. And in fact, I also want to add more padding to the row itself. So instead of 16, let's change it to 24. And maybe you want to increase the size of this text. So we'll go here, increase the font size to 32. Yep, looks better. Maybe add more padding here. So 12. Alright, so you can see that there's also this sort of very faint line over here. And in FlutterFlow, we can use this widget called a divider. So when under this column widget, you can search for divider, you can see that there's a horizontal divider widget which allows you to create this very faint line. So that's very nice, that's exactly what we need. If you want to move this line down, you can go to the row over here and you can actually add some bottom padding to move the divider down. So for now, let's just keep it as it is. So next will be these stories over here. So the same thing, we can add another row inside our column widget. And for this, we want to add a circle profile picture, as well as the name of the user. So for this, we can search for a circle icon, or circle image, sorry. It will be a circle image. So we have the circle image over here. We can decrease the diameter to 40. Now that's way too small. We'll just give it maybe 80. And we also want to add the username below the circle image. So we can right click on the circle image and we can wrap this widget inside a column. And inside the column, we'll add text so that the text appears below of the circle image. This text will just be username for now. You can also add a little bit of padding to the top of the text so that there's some separation. Inside the row, we also can give it some padding of 24 to the left and 24 to the right. So one good thing would also be to rename your columns or your widgets into here. So I want to rename my column to, let's say, story column. And I want to also duplicate this column to see what it looks like to have multiple user profiles over here. And one thing that I want to add is some spacing between these two. So one way would just be to add spacing to the whole column itself. Or another way would also be to go to the row itself and we can add some item spacing over here. So that it automatically add spacing between each of the items. So if I duplicate this again, then it'll add spacing between the items. Yep. So let's just leave it like that for now. Maybe I want to decrease the size of this circle image to, let's say, 60. That's too small. Maybe 70. Yep, I think that's better. Then we'll just remove these two for now. So I'll just click on the whole column and delete those. Then for now, I'll just duplicate 4 of those. So you can see that currently this is cut off because the row has some padding. So in fact, we should actually remove this padding and we should add padding here instead. So padding in the row starts padding of 24. So that looks better. And with the row widget, we can also add some top padding to let's say 8. Alright, so now that we have the stories row done, next is the post itself. So once more, we want to add a vertical divider. So inside the column widget, we'll add a divider. You can also click on this row and we'll add bottom padding of 8 so that the divider gets pushed down. So the post contains 3 main parts, which is this top part of the post over here with the user profile picture as well as the username. The next part will be sort of the body of the post, which will be the large image over here. And the last part would be this final part of the post, which will contain the like message as well as send function as well as the number of likes and the post description. So how we can implement that is we can create a container and we'll name this widget post container. So I like to create this container so that we are able to enclose our whole post widget inside this container. So sort of grouping the elements together. And for this post widget, I want to get rid of the fill color, so I'll click on the X so that it has a transparent color. And I also want to get rid of the width as well as the height so that now the container takes the shape and size of the contents of the container. So first, inside this post container, I'm going to add a column. And inside this column, I'm going to add a row. And this row will be the row for this top row over here. So this top row firstly contains a circle image, which will be for the profile image of our user. Can give this a diameter of 40. Next will be the text widget for the username of the user. So that will be the username. The last but not least will be these 3 dot icons. So it will be icon, and it will be the 3 dot icon. You can search for ellipsis. You can go to Font Awesome and you should find it over here. So you can click on this vertical ellipsis. Now you want to sort of add some padding and spacing. So with the row selected, I would like to add some left padding of 16 and some right padding of 16. Then I also want to push this ellipsis icon all the way to the right, and we learned how to do that just now. We can select on the text, and we can, under the expansion field property, we'll select this option to push it all the way to the right. We can also add some padding between this text as well as this circle image by adding some left padding onto the text. And we can also change this text to username for now. Can change the font weight so that it's more of a bold text. Alright, so that looks good. We can also add more padding to the row, so top padding of 8. And we also add bottom padding of 8 as well. So that is the top row done. Now with the column, we'll add a new column. We'll now add a new widget to the column, and this will be an image widget. So this image will fill the whole screen. So what we can do for the width, we can actually set it to infinity to fill the whole width of the screen. For the height, we can give it a predefined height of 400, let's say. Yep, 400 looks about right. Then after the image is done, we want to add a new widget, and this widget will contain this row over here, as well as the likes, as well as the username and post description. So we can break this bottom part down into one row over here, this text for the number of likes, as well as this text for the post description. So to encompass all of that, we need first a column, and then we need to add a row for the first row for these icons. So inside this first row, we want to add 3 icons. So we can search for icon, and we can just duplicate the icons 3 times for these 3 icons, and there's one more icon to bookmark the post as well. So just duplicate it one more time, and you want to push this last icon all the way to the right. So we can select on the third last icon, and we can expand it all the way to the right. But you see that there's a problem now, but it's easily fixed. For the alignment, we can just click on left align and it'll go back to the left, but still pushing the icon to the right. I also noticed that the image has some border radius which we do not want. So we can click on the image and we can just remove this border radius so that it takes up the whole screen. Right, let's just change the icons first. For this icon, it'll be a heart or like icon. Let's just use Font Awesome since that's what we've been using. And the next icon will be the comment icon. So we can search for comment, we can choose this one. And the last icon will be the share icon. So Font Awesome, let's just choose this one. And I think for this comment icon, I also want it to be filled. So we'll choose this one. Yep. Now let's also change this icon to the bookmark icon. Okay, yeah, so this is how our app looks like now. Let's add some padding to the row itself, so 16 and 16. Then we'll also add some padding to these icons. So let's say a padding of 6 and this a right padding of 6 as well. Maybe we'll add more padding. So instead of 6, it'll be 8. And instead of 6, it'll be 8. We also want to add some top padding to the row, and let's also add some bottom padding while we're at it. Alright, so that's it for these icon rows. So next will be the number of likes. So inside this column over here, we want to add a text widget, and currently it is aligned to the center of the column, so we want to align it to the left. So under alignment, we can just click on this to align it to the left. And we also want to give it some left padding of 16. So this will be the number of likes. So I'll just change this to 10,000 likes for now. You can also change the font weight to more of a bold font. Next will be the username as well as the description. So what we can do is under the column, we can also add more text. We can align it to the left, and we can also add some padding of 16. We can also add some top padding for this of, let's say, 8 to differentiate this from this. So it will start with the username and then the description. And for this, actually, you can see that there's two different text styles. So first is the username, which is more of a bold sort of text style. Then next is the description of the post, which is in a different style. So when you have text which contains two different text styles, instead of a text widget, what we would usually use is a rich text widget. So we can actually right click on this text widget and we can click on replace widget, and we'll choose the rich text widget instead. So this actually allows you to add multiple text styles within the same text widget. So I'll add two text spans, and for this text span, it will be the username. So add username. And then for the second text span, this will be the actual description. Now to change the text style of the first text span, we'll go under here, and here is where you can change all of the text styles. So for the font weight, I want it to be semi-bold, and I think for the description of the post, we'll just leave it as that. And the last part of this page is this bottom navigation bar over here. So the bottom navigation bar in FlutterFlow is pretty simple to implement. You can see that there's this option, and when you click on it, there's an option to show the navbar on this page. So if we toggle that on, you can see that there's an error, but this is because a navbar requires at least 2 pages in FlutterFlow. So what we can do is we can click on the home page, and we can duplicate the home page for now. And unfortunately, there's still an error over here. The navbar is currently off in app settings. So what we have to do is we have to go to settings and integrations. Under navbar and app bar, we want to show navbar, and this will be how a navbar will look like. So we go back, we can see that now we have a navbar over here. To change the icon of the navbar, we can also go to the navbar icon over here and make sure it's the home page, the root home page selected, and you should be able to scroll down to see that you can change the navbar, the icon of the navbar over here. So let's say I want to change it to a filled icon. So I'll search for home, and I want to change it to this filled home icon. So now it's changed. You can also change the icon size as well. Now if you want to change the color, such as this filled color, when the page is selected, I don't want it to be blue, I want it to be black. So you don't actually change it inside here itself. You have to go to settings and integrations under app settings. And this is where you change the style of your navbar. So instead of the primary app color, I'm going to set it to black. And if I go back now, you should see that when the page is selected, it will be black instead of dark blue. Alright, so that wraps it up for this video where we did up the UI for our Instagram clone, MeGrab. So in the next video, we'll be creating the UI for our profile pages over here. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video.